why am I starting? Okay, whatever. I am so excited for November. I can hardly stand it. I don't know what happened, but October, you know, we were all trying and we would say with our teams, we've got our steps of success, what do you have going on? And I had excitement, but for some reason, something happened in November. Does anyone else feel it?
October?
No, in November. Something else is going on in November. Does anyone else feel that buzz, that excitement?
Yeah,
And so, what? The shift? Oh my gosh. Total shift.
New product line? That's gotta be exciting.
Well, that'll add to it, but there's something else. I'm so excited. So we want to share with you our excitement and what ideas that we have going on to help you make November and December just not even more than just great, but outstanding. We want it to explode for you because it's all mindset. So Nicole, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Yes. So Nicole, we're going to talk about, you know, Mark said no in November. Get off the fence in November. But it's no excuses, no negativity. No, like we're just going for it in November. So
She's gonna introduce yourself.
Yep. So here's Nicole, one of our good friends and distributors.
All right, I'm Nicole Burdett. I am president of Diamond. Hello, everybody. I've been in it for 3 years now. We all three kind of started around the same time. Now it feels like the same time because 6 months is like close enough now. We've been in for a little while. So I'm just from here in Pleasant Grove. And so they've asked me a little bit to talk to you guys a little bit about the whole, you know, the no November, you know, no negativity and no excuses in November. So I'm going to talk a little bit about no excuses first. And this one is a little bit of a touchy subject, I feel like, because every single one of us have different trials, different challenges, different obstacles that we go through every single day. So I can't tell you what your excuse is or what my excuse is, because mine's going to be totally different than Michelle's. Some of us have little kids, some of us have grown kids, some of us aren't even married, some of us are in school, some of us work full time. We all have different things that we're dealing with every day. The biggest thing is finding what you need, finding that drive for you to be able to succeed in this business no matter what you're going through. You know, I know you guys have all heard, if there's a will, there's a way, and it's so true. When I first started, I was working 2 jobs. I was doing hair full-time, and I had my own photography business that was a full-time business as well. So honestly, when I first started, like, I really only planned on doing it in the salon because in my head, I was like, I don't have extra time for this. I had 2 kids at the time as well, so I was busy, and I really didn't have the time. But once I caught that fire, I made the time. I have no clue where the time came from. I think like we all kind of feel the same, you know, like we ran for it. And I think it was important enough for me that I was able to find that time, even though I really don't know where it came from. I mean, my husband was awesome to just take the kids while I go do parties or go to trainings or whatever. But I made it a priority. And that's something that you guys need to do. No matter what it is, you know, that you're going through, you know, there may be some things you have to miss, or even some, you know, sacrifices you have to make. Obviously, oh, you're fine. Come on in. We are glad you're here. And I'm not telling you that you need to miss every single thing that your kid has going on. I'm not telling you that you need to never see your kids or your family or your boyfriend or never study for school. You know, you still need to make those things a priority in your life. You just need to make a priority out of your downtime. So maybe you work full time. If you get a half-hour lunch break, use that half-hour lunch break to message people. Find little things. You don't have to work this business 8 hours a day to make it successful. I did not work it 8 hours a day to get to presidential. There's no way. I didn't have the time for that. And I think most leaders will tell you that they didn't do that either. I know there are some people that work at 8 hours a day and they do really well, you know, but it's not a requirement. So you need to find those little times in your day that you can really work this business and dedicate this business. It's not always gonna be easy, and I can tell you that I've had times that I've given myself excuses too. We just built a new house, and I will be totally honest, it totally threw me for a loop. I was not expecting it to. It totally threw me, and it was really hard for me to work my business while we were trying to move, my husband built it, so I was a big part of everything that went into it for the 6 months it was being built. So for me, it was really hard to focus on every little thing plus that. So I will tell you that was an excuse for me. It was hard for me to push past that excuse and still work my business. I was still able to work it, I just didn't work it the way I should have. And I'm being completely honest because it threw me. I wasn't expecting it to be something that would be hard for me to like bring into my business, I guess. I don't know how to explain that, but I think, you know, you can have excuses or you can have results. And I'm sure some of you have heard this before, but you can't have both. You can't be full of excuses and be successful in this business. You have to be able to put those excuses aside and go full force. Maybe you, like I said, maybe you can't work it a ton, and that's okay. You need to decide what you can do, what might, you know, you want it to push you a little bit. For me, like I have to push myself out of my comfort zone for me to like push beyond that and be able to see success for me. If I stay in my comfort zone, I don't see success. I don't know why. It's weird. But for me, I have to do that. So you need to find that for yourself. I can't tell you what you can and can't do because that's not how this business works. We're all in a business for ourselves. And this is something that I've found from the very beginning that's been really interesting, especially as a leader watching my team. I've always kind of worked for myself at our salon. My parents own the salon, but we're all booth rent, so we choose what hours we want to work. We choose how many days a week we want to work. Right now I work 3 days a month because I love it. I don't need to be there, but I love it. Everyone's like, you're never here. Well, you can do whatever you want. But so leading up to this, my photography business was my own and the salon business was my own. So I always had to, you know, if I didn't edit the photos, my clients would be mad at me. So I had to get them done still. You know, I had something else to do. With this business, nobody is telling you, you know, there's nobody to answer to. Nobody's going to fire you if you don't do your work. You know, when you have a normal 9-to-5 job, if you don't do what your boss says, what happens? You lose your job, right? So with this, it's not like Mark Pentecost calls you up and says, sorry, you can't be a distributor. You didn't do everything this month. You know, and I think that's the hardest thing with this business is really finding, you know, that drive and that time. You know, I can say, okay, I'm going to sit down and work. And I get on my computer and then I get distracted. Whether it's like with Facebook or I start looking at pictures or you know, it's easy to get distracted. I think it's really good to sit down and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. If I prioritize my time, I do a lot better. But I think definitely pushing past those, you know, the excuses and the distractions, I think it's hard. I will admit it's really hard. And I don't know why I even know what I'm talking about. No, I think it's just something that each of us has to find. And I promise you that when you do find it and you find, you know, that drive to push past those excuses, it will be worth it, and you will see the benefits tenfold when you do. I think, yeah, I don't know. I've seen, you know, I've seen the times that I sacrificed a little bit or maybe pushed myself a little bit harder than I thought I could, and I saw the benefits from it. So I promise if you guys really just try, you know, catch yourself when you're making excuses. I was talking to one of my leaders, it was actually when we were moving, like the week we were moving. She was asking me, okay, what do you need for ambassador? I want to hear what you need to do. I want to hear this. And so I was telling her, I'm like, I feel so dumb. This is a total excuse, but this is what's going on. Like I knew what my excuse was. And I mean, I'm being completely vulnerable right now talking to you all about it, but it hit me. And I think, I mean, it's not the first time it's hit me in this business, but it's the hardest time it's hit me in this business. Because it was an excuse, but I had to find a way to push past that excuse and still work. You know, it's not like I could forget that we were moving and that I had this house to put together and kids running around like crazy bad people. I just had to find those few minutes each day that I could work and say that I was still working my business and still trying, at least for myself. Nobody else cared if I was working, but I did. And so for you guys, you really just need to dig down deep and figure out what it is, what's holding you back. These fears, most of them are excuses. I don't mean that rudely at all, but I think we just have to find in ourselves what it is that's important and what we're gonna do about it to make it happen. So that being said, they wanted me to talk about negativity too, and I feel like they go hand in hand. I want you guys to all kind of think about how your day started today. When you woke up, what was the first thing you did? And think about how your day kind of went on throughout the day. You know, did you get mad at somebody at work? Did you yell at your kids? Did you know, how does it feel when you have that type of a day?
It's hard to get out of it.
It is. It's really hard, huh? I had something happen last night that was so stupid, but it made me really mad. I picked up my Christmas cards. I know it's only November, but I picked them up and they had the wrong last name on them. Come to find out it was my mistake, but it was something that, you know, it was a custom order, so they could have caught it if they were paying attention to what, you know, the custom order they were doing. They didn't. And it's a company I've been using for a long time and I love them. I've been using them for probably 8+ years and I send all my clients to them, you know. And so I was upset, and when I called them, and I wasn't upset at first until they're like, oh, well, yeah, sorry, you can reprint it, but, you know, you're still gonna have to pay half of what you paid. And I'm like, I already paid kind of a lot of money for that. I don't want to pay again, you know. Anyway, long story short, I hung up and I wasn't gonna reprint my Christmas cards because I kind of thought it was dumb. Like, they've always treated me really good and even caught mistakes that I've made in the past. It affected my whole night. I was yelling at my kids for nothing. I was mad at my husband just over one stupid little thing, one negative thing that I let come into my life, that I shouldn't have let come into my life. I should have blown it off and said, they're Christmas cards, who cares? You know, this is a prime example of what we do every single day, how we treat other people and how we talk about other people and how we let other people affect us. When you hear something negative, it's really easy to feed off of it, right? Negativity breeds negativity, I swear. Like, it's like one negative person and it's like a row of dominoes. It just keeps going and never stops. So for me, I feel like if I wake up and I do something that's for me, that's positive, uplifting, whether it's personal development, you know, something spiritual, something with my kids. Like this morning, with the whole daylight savings, my baby's waking up still early. My girls don't care, they still sleep in, but my baby's waking up early, so it's just me and him in the morning, which at first I was like, can you just sleep like for 1 more hour? It'd be really nice. But this morning, me and him just sat and played in his room. And that was the beginning of my day, and it was great. It led to an awesome day. Like, I will say I didn't yell at my kids once today, which is like huge when we're trying to get out the door and go to school. It's stressful. And I'm sure you guys all have, you know, those of you who work have stressful jobs. You have people, you know, that may have yelled at you. You may have yelled at somebody. You may have gotten upset over who knows what. Maybe somebody was driving stupid and made you mad. The biggest thing with this whole negativity is the way you handle it. It's up to us whether or not we let that negativity into our lives. And maybe you're wondering, like, why is she talking about negativity? Like, this has nothing to do with my business. It has everything to do with your business. I want you guys to think about it. If you were to go to your Facebook page or your Instagram page and, like, pretending you didn't know who you were, and you scroll through your page, would you want to be friends with yourself? Would you feel like you were an uplifting person that would be so much fun to hang around, or be a good example to somebody, or, you know, think about it. Think about what's on your social media, and what you're portraying to your friends, your followers, whoever it is, because maybe you have followers that you don't know. You know, if you guys, you know, some of you may be using social media in a different way rather than just your friends. These people don't know you. What do you think that they think of you if you're, you know, complaining about every bad thing that goes on in your life? I know it's hard not to like vent, but call one of us and vent or something. Don't post it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever. I think that that's going to be your biggest thing when finding distributors and customers. If you guys are positive and uplifting and never let that negativity show through, people are going to want to be a part of what you are doing. They might not care about the wrap. They might not care about what we have, but they want to be a part of what you are a part of because they're drawn to you. You're uplifting to them. You're inspirational. And when it comes to you having a team with you, if you're negative, what do you think your team's going to be like? Do you think they're going to be positive people? Probably not. You know, I know that when I'm with somebody that's really negative, I'm a downer. I don't want to be happy. I don't want to, you know, go and inspire other people. You know, I want to be around positive people. And I want those positive people on my team. A positive team is going to breed success. I can guarantee you that if your team does not have that negativity bringing you down, they will be successful. Even if you feel like they're not successful tomorrow or this month, they will be successful. That positivity will help bring them up and bring that success in the way that they need it. I can guarantee you that if you're, you know, keeping that positivity and keeping the negativity out, your life, for one, will be a million times better. And two, your business will benefit from it. I actually was up in Logan doing a training with my little team up there last week that one of my distributors was saying she loves Time Hop because stuff pops up from years past. And she said that something popped up from like 3 years ago. She's only been in the business, I think, a year. And she was saying how shocked she was at the things that are popping up in her Time Hop. She cannot believe that they were on her Facebook, just like even 2 years ago. And she was talking about how she has changed so much as a person, and you know, her, just because of this business, she's been able to kind of bring that negativity out. She's more conscious about what she's posting. She might still be feeling all of it, but she's conscious about what she's doing and how she's reacting to people. And I think it's benefiting her not only, you know, in her business, but her personal life is 100 times better too, you know. So yes, we're here to talk about our business and how we can grow our business, but if you're not fixing your personal life, it's going to be really hard to grow your business too. If you're, you know, if you're being weighed down in other parts of your life, it's going to be really hard to be successful in business too. So anyway, do I have anything else?
Yeah, just, I want some of you guys didn't come last to the training that we had last, like every other month we've been kind of doing it here. So we were I was giving these out. I don't know if Colette is doing the same thing with Candy over there, but I brought greens on the go and some greens chews. So if you guys have a comment or a question, you're going to be able to get one, especially for you guys that don't have these products and you want to use them for samples or sample them yourself. I want you to. So if you guys have any comments or questions specifically on what Nicole said, shout them out, make it up, whatever. If you want some greens, now is the time. Just we'll take maybe 2 or 3.
It's the negativity. It's like that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that totally because it makes me frustrated. And when I start talking here, I'm just like how do you start changing? Yeah. So yeah.
Can I? Yeah.
Which one do you want, a greens chew or one of the greens on the go?
Greens on the go.
Do you want orange or berry? Orange. Okay, any other questions, comments?
Can I add something really fast? The analogy of you're on a boat or on a ship and you've got water surrounding you, you've got an ocean of water and it doesn't get in. This boat floats and it does what it needs to get to its destination. And it's not the water around it that sinks the ship, but it's the water that gets inside the boat, right? So we have to be very careful to not let that water, that negativity get inside us, that we keep up that barrier and we're strong on the outside so that we can be that example or that ship getting to our destination and just letting that negativity just kind of go past us. Who else had a comment?
I had, I don't know if you guys, how often you watch John Eric, but what you said about if you have a negative thought or you need to vent, he brought up a really good point when you're on Facebook to click the little spot where you can have friends or public or your settings to who you want to send it to. So send it to only me and then vent away and you will be the only one to see that post.
That's awesome.
So I thought that was
I love that.
Yeah.
It is a good thing. You
still
get it out. You still.
Yeah.
But it's very true that if you're watching, we do as leaders or as, we're all leaders. As we're trying to build our teams, we're trying to become better people and examples and mentors to others. They are looking at us and they're seeing what kind of attributes we can offer to them. And as you're watching, I start finding that there's some posts that start to rub me the wrong way a little bit because I try to be so positive. And I have to think, would I want that on my team per se? No, I wouldn't. What I want to attract is more positive people. So we hope that we're all being that for someone else as well. Did someone? Oh, what did you want? Berry green? Did you want choose?
Berry, please.
Okay.
Something too that I read today that I loved, says the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. You know, so if you're, like she said, if you're letting those in, it's gonna completely affect your happiness.
Awesome.
Will you say that one more time?
The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna do a few sort of intermittent product testimonial stories from just random people that we've asked, or maybe you guys in the audience will be ready. Dylan, I have asked Dylan previously, I'm not just catching her off guard here, but Dylan, I want her to share a little bit about her story and how she got started, why she got started, and her amazing product testimonial is just, I love it. So come on up, Dylan. And if you guys comment or have questions for her, you're gonna get greens and green shoes. We wanna have participation, so.
Great. Well, it's good to be here with all of you. Where to begin? I am only 4 months into this business, but I would say, I guess the biggest thing for me, I'm just gonna say it the way it is that this opportunity was a gift from God. It really was. And I'll tell you a few different ways in which it has been. So I have 6 children, and my second pregnancy was triplets. And so, as you probably can guess, my stomach was pretty stretched out. And so I have been looking for something to help with my poor stomach. And my triplets are actually 8 now. And once I heard about the wrap, I just thought, what could hurt? I mean, really, I need something. And so I decided to try it. Margo was so awesome to share it with me. And so I tried the wrap, and it just, every wrap just got better and better, and it did amazing things for my stomach. And so I feel like that is just, it was huge to me. It's obviously just something that bothered me that maybe not everyone else was affected by, but it was something that was really important to me and that bothered me. And so I was just, it was awesome to be able to have the results and to just be able to feel like I had my skin wasn't so loose anymore. A couple other things that I really liked also is that this opportunity, like financially, is such a blessing. I feel like our family has been very blessed. We've always had enough. But we've also had a great desire to build some great memories with our kids. And also to, along with that, to also be able to help other people. Like that is something that I really want to do. And so that is one of the other things that I just have loved about this opportunity. And the last thing is, this is one I didn't expect, that I didn't know was gonna come with all of this, is the great people that I would get to work with. And I feel like I meet people that I've meant to meet, and I'm so grateful for them and their influence in my life. And I can't even imagine the many more people that I get to work with. I'm so excited because I'm just getting started. But so yes, I just feel like I'm so blessed to be a part of all of this and to share it with others and to get to know so many great people. So
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dylan. And if you're brave enough, I know you have your pictures back there on your phone, so you didn't bring your big
I didn't bring
one up, but if you guys wanna see, we should all, tell her it's a safe environment. The pictures are seriously incredible. Incredible after triplets, so if you don't mind, just pass
I
your
will.
around. Awesome, thanks.
Yep.
What do you want to do next?
Should we just talk about personal development?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I ask a question?
Of
Since we're
course.
Talking about,
Please.
before and afters and stuff. Can you guys, do you maybe want to reiterate what's going on now, just so that we're like kind of on the same
Great
page?
question.
I am so scared to post anything now. And so,
We have disclaimers now that need to go on product results, specifically before and afters, and supplements.
how do you know that someone's not just slapping disclaimer? Because now I know that there's supposed to be this handwritten thing. So how am I supposed to know that what you posted was handwritten? Where do I get that? I mean, it's kind of
So,
really intimidating right
Send that to
now.
corporate.
Yeah, so the easiest, simplest way right now, until you've had that consent form signed or you've sent it and you've sent in your picture with the disclaimer on it, is to use the ones on the It Works Global Facebook page.
Okay.
All of the ones on the corporate page right now have been approved with consent and with the disclaimer. So they've added the disclaimer, and just so you guys know, this is just being enforced. This has always been in our policies and
Yeah.
procedures.
Yeah.
So now we are gonna be $1 billion brand. This is a big deal, and we have to protect our golden goose, is what we always say. And so we just have to really be careful. There's been pictures out there like, oh, is this Miriam? Is
Yeah,
this,
right.
this, is that from this other company? Is that Isogenics, or is that our, so this way we know that someone is signing their own signature saying, this is me, this is what I used, and it's just what we have to do.
So
Yeah.
all those pictures though are gonna be
Embrace it.
somewhere?
What?
Are all those pictures that everyone's sending in with their signature?
Yeah,
Those are all
yeah.
gonna be in a,
Those are,
Something.
corporate is doing it all. So there's I did a post not very long ago in Western Reps that says, this is what you need to do and where you need to send it. So there's a specific email, and everything is in your eSuite, guys. So your document library is gonna give you all this information, all the disclaimers, but I will put each disclaimer that you need to use as a picture. I'll just put them in Western Apps for you guys so that each one, and then you're gonna wanna use an app like PhotoGrid or WordSwag or whatever, and you're gonna just sort of drag it onto the bottom as if you're using two pictures, and you're just gonna put the disclaimer on the bottom. It can be in that really small fine print. I mean, obviously you aren't gonna wanna like blast it
Cover
on it.
all of it.
So just put it on the bottom for pictures that you already know.
I hear you saying, so I kind of have felt the same way. And I'll just use the pictures that I know are mine, or that I've confirmed with other leaders that have confirmed, or from corporate sites. So
It's just kind of hard now because I totally get it. I totally do. But like there was nothing else available for so long
Mhm.
from corporate. So then all of a sudden, it just gets thrown at you that, of course, it's always been that way, but now it's really being enforced. And it's like a clean slate. Like there's nothing out there now.
Oh,
And
there's
so-
tons of pictures on the corporate site, I promise you.
That seems like it eventually.
Lots of
easier.
different products, you know, not just the wraps, there's facial products, there's skincare, there's hair, skin, and nails. There's a lot to choose from.
And you
Okay.
have some in your e-suite too.
Yeah.
Are
It's
those
just,
back?
I think so.
Are they back? Okay, I haven't checked that. Trish.
So like with my before and afters, I mean, like Colette and I were talking this the other day, she said, can I use your picture?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, no problem. Do I have to send that? I mean,
Yeah.
so I
You
need
do.
to send it in?
You
You
need
do.
to send your consent to corporate.
And then
With their
And the
consent.
products you used and for how long, and
Okay.
send them in,
Yeah.
saying, I want these to be able to be used for marketing purposes.
Because they're already out.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah.
And that would be amazing. I want yours to choose from.
Kidding.
Yeah.
I was watching this Periscope and I can't remember who it was, but she said, don't worry about this, because if everybody in this room were to send in at least one product result, think of how many we had to share. You know, you had one to begin with, now you have 30
Right.
to go for, you know,
Yep.
you have to look at it in the bigger picture to think that this is gonna give us more in the long run than now.
no, and I totally get that. It's just that it
Right.
like completely cut you off guard. And then you were like, what am I supposed to do now? Like I literally didn't post before and after for like a week because I didn't know. It just kind of, I personally just felt like it got thrown out really fast and it just was like really overwhelming all at once. I was just like, okay. I felt like a new distributor not knowing where to go.
Well, no, I'm glad you brought it
So-
up. I appreciate the concern. I think it's a concern of everyone, no matter what
Mhm.
level we're at. It doesn't matter. We're all kind of
The
thrown.
VIPs were even like, oh,
Yeah.
being afraid.
And you were on vacation. I was like, I'm not gonna bug her, but I don't know what to do.
And I should have just posted and directed everyone to the corporate page, but we'll figure it out together.
Is
That's
there,
the
there's an
great thing.
address somewhere where you
No,
send
just
the
go to
pictures?
the, it worked, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, we can post it.
It's also in like weekly emails and stuff.
So once it has the disclaimer on the picture, if it's Colette's picture, it's gone through corporate, it has the permission for Colette and everything, can I share it or do I need that written permission
No.
as well?
Because the person in the picture has given their consent. If Colette's posting it, she's either gotten written consent or she's gotten it from a source that they already have. They've already done it.
So as long as it has that stamp of approval, anyone can share it.
Yeah. And it's basically, I mean, I don't know if you guys have read the little thing. It just basically says what every other product says. Results are not typical. Like it's just, I mean, it's what you see everywhere because our products are so amazing. They seem too good to be true. And even products, I mean, even results that are true, they seem to, like her grandma, oh my gosh, her grandma's cheek after that, wow. That seems like this can't be true. I bet you were sitting here like, I wouldn't believe this.
Sent it to me, I was like,
That can't be real.
So why does it say not typical though? That results are not typical.
Because every person's not going to get the exact same result. Everyone's different.
Yeah,
How
I
is it
won't
that
have the
takes
same-
it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like morning, afternoon.
consistency, water, there's too many factors, genetics.
Right.
Whatever, so.
Okay, moving on. We're gonna talk about self-development, and this is one that I am really excited about. And I've been inconsistent with my personal development. And I find that when I'm trying to do this business without personal development, it's a lot harder. And it's so much easier when we're doing our personal development because I've heard it said it's like 80%, this business is 80% personal development and 20% activity and skill. And so I'm like, if the leaders are saying it's 80% personal development, why am I not doing that? Why am I not spending 80% of my business putting into myself to grow? So, do you wanna?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, all I can tell you is what has happened to me. And I got to Presidential Diamond really fast, in under a year. And I can admit that I didn't read one book on leadership. I didn't read anything on mindset, nothing of overcoming fears, doubts, nothing. I didn't even know. Christy didn't say anything to me about personal development. My sponsor, Christy, like it wasn't even on my radar. I just was like head down, blinders on, just full force. But what happened is I reached Presidential, and within probably 6 to 9 months, it was like, oh my gosh, Ambassador Diamond is freaking me out, and I don't think I can do it. And realizing that and really owning those feelings was so hard for me. And that was when I knew, I was like, I need personal development. Like, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna reach my goals. I'm not gonna do what I know is possible because I see all these other people doing it, but I don't believe it. And so I was owning that, and I'm such a big believer in owning your feelings, but what are you gonna do to figure yourself out of the mess? Because I felt stuck. I felt really stuck and kind of like I was just spinning my wheels. Like I was still working, but I wasn't getting the results I was before because honestly, I'm telling you that law of attraction and what you really believe, it's true. If you don't believe it, you are going nowhere. As hard as I was working, I just was getting nowhere. And that's when I really started focusing on personal development and mindset. And so this past year, I have listened to so many things on belief. So I actually people always talk, I mean, you guys have heard, you're gonna hear personal development and social media on every single thing, every training from now on, because it is the thing that has gotten me past that threshold of believing it versus not believing it. So I wrote down some of the things that I listened to that have really helped me. So you guys can write down some of and I do like to read books, but I can't read books anymore. I am too distracted with thinking like, this isn't an income producing action, even though I know it really is. It's still really hard for me to sit down and read a book for like even 30 minutes. It's really hard for me. So I like audio. I've talked to several of you guys in here that really like books. So you have to either listen to it, read it, or watch it, whatever is going to work for you. The magic of thinking big. So I listened to this when we came back from Vegas, and it was like 4 hours or something, and you can go to YouTube. So another really great thing about YouTube, if you want to listen to an audiobook, is you can put it in a category called watch later. It'll save your place as if you were reading a book, okay? No excuses here. You guys gotta fill your minds with positivity and belief in yourself. So the magic of thinking big, the magic of believing is another one that I've listened to. So yeah, let's just kind of
starts with why. Yeah, starts with why. The Power of I Am, Joel Osteen, love. You were made for a God-sized dream. OMG. My favorite right now, I'm gonna be like one of the salespersons for this book, but it is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Do you have more?
Oh yeah. I mean,
oh wow.
Well, this is kind of like
Okay.
what I learned and stuff from it. The thing that I have in my car is The Challenge to Succeed by Jim Rohn. You can get that from the It Works store. It's 4 CDs, it's not very expensive, but I rotate those through my car. When I can pretty much recite it, I switch to the next CD, but I will keep those in my car forever because it just puts me in the right frame of mind. One thing that I love about Jim Rohn and talking about like the negativity is he says and teaches us that negativity is normal. you guys, you gotta we all know that it's normal. There is negativity in this world, but I love that he teaches that it's meant to be mastered and conquered. And really what that means, and he goes into it more. I mean, if the CD was playing, I could just recite it here, but I didn't want to go over every single thing. I just want to give you guys some ideas of where you can go to do personal development. Another thing that I really like is TED Talks. This is also on YouTube. So TED Talks. It's good to subscribe to channels that you like that mainly just do personal development, so that when you can get an email from them when a new video is posted. Anything by Tony Robbins is going to be super inspirational. I love Les Brown. He's a black guy that's really funny, a really great motivational speaker. Brendan Bouchard, I really like him too. I think that's his last name. Brendan.
Yeah, I follow his Facebook page.
B-U-C-H-A-R-D.
And his Facebook page, he's constantly posting just the most amazing positive messages every day.
Spell his last name again.
B-U-C-H-A-R-D. So I like to watch videos and listen to things. I will read something if it's fairly short. But you have to find what works for you. And the thing that I learned from the first book I ever, and I didn't really realize it was personal development, but it's personal development to me for network marketing, is GoPro by Eric Worre. And the thing that I learned, one of the things that I learned from him was that you can only make what you are. So do you believe that you're worthy of $500 a month as a Ruby? Are you a $2,000 a month person? Like, you have to really ask yourself these things. Like, do I really believe it? Like, you're the only one who knows deep inside if you believe it or not. And when he said he started in network marketing and there was a huge sign-up fee between like $2,500 and $3,500 to sign up. So he had enrolled several people in his first couple of months. So he was making this huge percentage on these sign-up fees. And he had made like $12,000 in 1 month. And he was just like, oh, this is so awesome. Like, I'm so excited. And his next check was like $1,100 a month. And that's when he said, I wasn't a $12,000 a month person. I hadn't grown enough. I hadn't developed my skills enough. So I was right back staring at my commissions with exactly what I believed about myself or where I was, like what I had learned and everything. And so that really stuck with me too. And just thinking like, you know, all this stuff about ambassador and do I believe that and how can I work through that? And so I think just going to the drawing board and personal development is going to help you keep going.
So right along with that, I quoted this with my team from this book. This really hit home with me. Success comes to those who become success conscious. Failure comes to those who indifferently allow themselves to become failure conscious. So how many of us are like, oh, I can't get loyal customers. Oh my gosh, no one comes to my parties. Oh, this is so hard. I'm never going to get to diamond. That's failure conscious. Are we success conscious or failure conscious? So again, success comes to those who become success conscious, thinking about success, thinking about the positive. And failure will always find those who talk about failure. So it's okay to say, I'm having a rough time finding some loyal customers, but how can I overcome that? So you've got to change that mindset of changing it from I can't to how can I do it. So this one,
I love that you're so excited about this.
It's like crazy excited. So this one,
I've listened to this book.
yeah, it's like it's like 10 hours on YouTube. It's on YouTube. And I couldn't sit down and read it today, so while I was folding towels and cleaning the kitchen, it was on YouTube playing. I loved it.
Yeah.
And so then I found where I was at and I put my little sticker there so I can pick up where I left off. This is awesome. First, fix in your mind the exact money you desire. How many of you started for money? You're wanting, it has to do with money, I'm sorry, right? How many of you joined for money? No? No? Okay, that's fine. I did. Okay, let's think about if it's not just money, then it's something else. But first, fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It is not sufficient to merely say, I want plenty of money, or I want to book a party, or XYZ. Don't be vague about it. But there's a reason to be specific. Second, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for that money or that party. Like, what do you want specifically? What are you going to do specifically? Third, establish a date that you're going to accomplish it. Fourth, create a plan for carrying it out. And then begin at once, not Monday. So if this is about a diet, don't start Monday. Begin your plan now, not after your trip to Chile or whatever it is. Fifth, write out.
She's talking to me. Calling you out.
So Chile. Whatever. I'm talking about me.
Oh, okay.
Fifth, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money, so your goal, what you that you intend to acquire, name the date and time that for the acquisition, state what you intend to give in return, and describe clearly the plan which you intend to accumulate it with. And then every single day, so I've done this, starting November 1st, it's on my mirror in my bathroom. And I have exactly my goal, the date, what I'm going to do to achieve it, and then at the very end it says, read your statement aloud twice daily, in the morning and night. I'm doing it more than that. Every time I go to the bathroom. And as you read it, you need to see and feel and believe that you've already achieved it. So, is that weight loss? Is that owning a home? Is that a dollar amount in the business or a rank with the business? But you've got to decide, I want diamond. I want to drop 30 pounds. And you've got to want it bad enough and believe that you can do it by a certain date, and then envision in your mind you're already there. So when I walk into my bathroom, Nicole asked, what did you do the first thing this morning? Walked into my bathroom, I looked at my note, and with a smile, I read the whole thing with confidence. And I sat there and I'm like, yep, I can feel it. And then I walked down, saw my kitchen, and I'm like, ugh. Walked back into my bathroom, read my statement.
Just hang out in the bathroom. You gotta keep that clean, right?
I'm gonna make multiples. I'm gonna put them everywhere. I know, but I feel it. I started doing this November 1st, and a potential distributor that was never on my radar called me and said she wants to join on Friday. Okay, I know, and I'm like, guys, it is, you can call it coincidence, but I call it putting out the positive and having that energy that you're going to succeed no matter what. That's what I feel is happening. And what that does on my list of activities that I'm doing to get that goal, which is ambassador, I am putting in 100% each day. But that 100% today might be different than my 100% tomorrow. Those activities might be different.
Yeah.
You've got to be okay with that level, but still be honest with yourself, right?
Right.
And so I'm putting in what I can do. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, and I mean, just going along with whatever you're focusing on, whatever you're thinking about is going to become your reality. Like, your mind is this powerful living organism that is bringing you your reality. Whatever you are focusing on and thinking about is what you are creating. It's what your future is going to be. And so if you have a dream of becoming a diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, whatever you're wanting to be, and you're sitting here telling yourself, I'll never do that. Other people do that. Look at them. Good for them. I'm mad at them. I'm jealous of them. Whatever you're thinking is going to happen. You have to change your thinking. And if you don't have anything to pull from, if you don't have all this positivity, like all these words and all these books, like I have pages and notes and all this stuff just running through my mind all the time. when I have people, like as a presidential or an ambassador, they're giving you leads. You get leads for distributors. The last 3 that they've given me knew someone else that was already a distributor, and I had to tell them, go sign up with someone else. You know them, that's the right thing to do. Like, that sucks, you guys. That was so hard for me. Like, I have big goals and dreams too, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my integrity and my honesty for this either. So don't lose yourself, don't lose who you are, don't lose what you believe, but you have to have all this positivity to draw from, or you're gonna get sucked in by the negativity because it's so much more available. Like, negativity is everywhere. You have to search for the positive. You have to find it. So, I mean, I listened to a lady here, and she was saying that 1/3 of Americans, 1/3, are dissatisfied with their lives. And she said that's 100 million people. 100 million people who are basically saying that they're fine. Oh my heck, I hate that word. I hate the word fine. I hate it. Because you know what it means? It means you're just gonna settle. Like, if you're crappy, say you're crappy. If you're amazing because you're living and breathing, say I'm amazing or I'm great. I hate the word fine, so I'm challenging you all to take that word out of your vocabulary. I hate when my husband says that. I'm like, are you really fine? Are you great? Are you bad? Like, I'm like kind of leading him, but I hate that word fine. Like, say you're great. If you're great, say you're great. And I hope my team hears that. Like, when they ask me how I am, I usually say I'm great. Like, I'm so thankful for my life. That's another thing, is gratitude and abundance and feeling like you're grateful will bring more to you. I promise you. I promise you it will.
My God.
Yes, please.
When you're feeling that negativity, which we all do, I'm on this high today, and tomorrow I might get a little grumpy about something and a little bit down or frustrated about something, and it's normal. We talked about negativity being normal or being frustrating, things frustrating you, or insecurities or doubt or whatever. What you have to do at that moment, and what I've really tried to do, is when I'm saying, oh my gosh, it's so hard, it's gonna take me forever to get there, or I can't seem to get a new distributor that returns my text messages, whatever it might be, instead of feeling that frustration, you change it immediately and say something positive. I'm promoting, I'm moving up, I'm growing, I'm finding the next distributor right around the corner. Say something to replace it that helps kick that negativity to the curb right away. You've got to, and what happens is as soon as you change that to something positive, you feel different. Instead of wallowing in the negativity and depression and frustration, it moves me to action. So if you're like, oh my gosh, no one's messaging me back, change it to, I look forward to messaging 25 people and seeing how many people are gonna write me back. Just change it to something positive.
Yeah. So this isn't for everyone. This journey that we're on, it is for the minority of people who want more, who know they deserve more, who might still be freaked out, but they're willing to do it. You guys, don't quit. Don't give up. Work on yourself harder than you work on your business, and you will make it. I promise you, you will. The challenge is when we get uncomfortable or we start to feel a little bit of pain, we shy away from it. We put the brakes on. We talk about like 2 sides of your brain. One's autopilot and one's the emergency brake. We want to be on autopilot. We want to do what's comfortable. We want to do what we know. And the second we get to an uncomfortable part, if we don't do something within 5 seconds, if you have an impulse or a prompting or a feeling to do something and you don't do it within 5 seconds, you'll pretty much never do it. We will never do it if we won't push through that threshold. So when most people are giving up because it's too hard or it's too scary, we're going to talk about some of that stuff in there. But honestly, most of the fears, like Nicole was saying, is a bunch of bull crap. The fears aren't real, just conjured up in our minds, and it's not real. Les Brown, that black guy I told you guys, go look about the fear story. And he talks about this kid that was running from a dog for 3 weeks. And at the end, he finally just decided to stand his ground. The freaking dog had no teeth and all he was doing was barking at him. Like, that's how our fears are. It's not real. It's not real. It's ourselves. Usually it's ourselves that are holding us back. I kind of feel like negativity from other people and stuff, like that is really hard to handle, but my biggest obstacle is myself. And that's why you have to grow yourself. If your business isn't growing, you can still progress your business because you're progressing yourself. So don't get caught up in, oh my gosh, I haven't completed my steps to success or whatever. If you're growing yourself, and you've made this solid commitment, like I will never give up. Like this is a lifetime profession. I will do this. Like I am never quitting. I'm never turning off my auto ship. I will never see canceled in my e-suite. That's the resolve you have to have. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. I also want you guys to understand and know that money, whatever your goals are financially, will not make you happy. If you are not happy and can't find a way to be happy with or without money, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Whatever your goals are, reaching them, if you're not happy, I love that, was it Nicole that said your relationships? Like, I cannot work. If I'm in an argument with Brandon, I'm like, dang him, I have to apologize, because it's usually my fault, I admit that. So I have to call him up and apologize, because I'm like, I can't work. Brandon, it's freaking work this out right now. Because, and all I can tell you, that the better my marriage has become, the better my business is. Like, he is my biggest cheerleader. He really is my sponsor. Like, I hardly talk to my sponsor anymore. Brandon is my accountability partner. He'll give me all the encouragement, but all the tough love that I freaking need. And so find someone like that and work on your relationships. If you're strained with your kids or with a coworker or a brother, a sister, a parent, your spouse, you better be working on that too, or you're gonna feel stuck. I know some of us have experienced that. If you're having a hard time even forgiving someone, like if you're harboring something and you can't let it go, you're not going to be able to grow your business and your income because you are stuck. I just want to share one thing about feeling stuck, and I really do mean it about stop saying you're fine. Just say the truth. One side or the other. Fine is just in the middle. So if you're feeling stuck, I love this because I learned this. And if we are feeling stuck, it means that a basic need that we all have as humans is not being fulfilled. So if we are not growing and exploring and becoming better, that's why we feel stuck. And that's why we feel emotional. Like, you think of it, if a baby was born and never learned to walk and talk and grew up and went through, you know, all that they went through. I mean, how many chances do we give a child to go through 4th grade? 1, right? We expect them to keep going and keep moving and keep progressing. And if we're not doing that in a reasonable amount of time, we're gonna feel stuck. And so I got to the point, and I told Brandon, it was after green carpet this summer, I was like, I am uncomfortable where I am right now. Like, I do not want to be a presidential diamond anymore. Like, I'm mad, like, I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong here. Like, I am very grateful for that income and how far I've come, but it's been too long.
You weren't fine with it.
I wasn't fine. I am like determined to go from here to here, like step out of that and step up to what I know is possible. So also that 5-second thing, remember that. If you have an impulse, a prompting, a feeling that you need to do something, write a note, send a text, do something in a physical way to get that moving, to connect the idea in a physical way so that you won't not do it. It's not a lack of ideas or inspiration, it's just that we don't do it. I'm sure that you guys have thought like, oh, I really should do that, or oh, I really want to do that to grow my business. And then what happens? Within 5 seconds, you're like, either that's too scary, or I don't really think I'm going to do it. We're on autopilot. So just practice that 5-second rule. And I'm doing this too. Like, everybody needs to do this. Everybody needs to do this. And it kind of freaks me out because sometimes you get something that comes to you where you're like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to that person or whatever it is. But we have to do it. So I just want you guys to get uncomfortable and grow and explore and learn and don't feel stuck.
Awesome. Let's go over a couple of the fears really fast, shall we?
Yeah.
Hopefully. Well, then don't climb up.
Come up.
Did you say it? Okay. All right. How many have the fear of what other people might think? Raise your hands. Okay, a lot of you. So how many of you have overcome the fear of what people might think of you? Okay, Brianne, do you want to come up here and talk about it really fast? Now you're worried about what people think?
You're safe with us.
And how far did you drive to get here?
2 hours.
Oh my God.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, my example of what I thought people would think was, before I started this business, I was the most shy person in the whole world. I would not even talk to the person sitting next to me. I had the worst stage fright. And I had lots of people tell me that I couldn't do this because I was too shy. And this has changed me. I am not shy anymore. I am a little bit, but I actually can get up and talk in front of people. I can do parties, and I never thought I would be able to. So that's one thing that I've gotten to be able to not care what people think.
How?
Just
How did you do
telling
it?
myself that I could do it and believing in myself.
Aww.
You wanna take one? Take one if you share. Take any.
And I'm proud of Fran because she has signed how many distributors and customers recently, like in the last couple of months?
More than I can think of.
I know, she's done so well. And how long have you been in the business?
A year and a half.
Yeah, like, I'm proud of what she didn't quit. And after a year and a half, all of a sudden she starts showing up on my radar. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm really proud of you. I was super shy. I would get up in a crowd and I would start to cry because I was so nervous and didn't want to post about, before and afters and what will people think. But like they say, do they pay your bills? No. Do they live in your home and are they there dealing with your struggles? Dealing with your stress? No. This is about you making a change, and how bad do you want that?
Well, and another thing that I've learned through personal development is that the average, most people are average, you guys. Most people are gonna stay stuck. Most people are gonna settle for fine. Most people are gonna stay living paycheck to paycheck until they die. Okay? So the average person is gonna try to pull you back down to their average. They don't wanna see you do better than them because that makes them uncomfortable. Like if you really understand that, and if people aren't on your side, like if people don't really love you and support you, do you really want them in your life anyway? I mean, this is a hard one because the law of association, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, you're gonna earn like them and act like them, walk like them, talk like them. So be careful of those 5 people. And when someone moves out of that 5, be careful who you let come in. Because it's so true. Like I don't want to be held back by what someone else says, you know, and just really quick, I had my 2 closest friends that I had when I started this. I called them up and I was so excited and telling them all about it. And she said no. Like I was still excited. So at that point it didn't matter. Like it hurts me more now that they barely talk to me. They barely talk to me. And every single Monday, she tells me like, oh, work. Every single Friday, she's like so happy. And I'm over here like walking into the gym like, whoa, what's today? Are we on Tuesday? Are we on Thursday? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess it's the weekend. Every day's the weekend. I'm so grateful for my life, and she couldn't even pay to go to Garth Brooks tickets with me. She couldn't even afford $150. And it breaks my heart, but if I would have just stuck with what she said and her opinion, like I wouldn't be the happy, confident, much better person that I am today. So you cannot let people hold you down. There are people that only will join because of you. And if you don't do it, I promise you, God will send someone else, and you could have just passed on a huge rock star. So you have to get over it. You have to remember that they're just trying to pull you down to be average, and you were meant for more.
All right, the next one is letting people down, not having it work for someone.
How many of you, yeah, go ahead.
So this is actually something that recently I've kind of been like when I sign a distributor, I'm like, oh crap, what if it doesn't work? Like I'm nervous to sign them because what if they're not successful? It's my fault. And that's something that I've had to kind of like tell myself, like it's not my fault. Like it's nobody made me work when I signed up, right? Nobody's making any of you be here tonight, right? You know, so that's something, I don't know, that's kind of, it's not something easy to get over. I think the whole like letting people down part can kind of be a different side of it, you know, like letting your family down, letting your friends and your children down. I think it kind of just goes back to the whole, does it mean products or the business? Oh, I don't know.
Having it not work for someone.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
So does it mean products? Does it mean the business?
I guess it could go a few different ways.
So I'm going to answer 2 ways. So letting people down, not having it work for someone with the business. If I sometimes feel like I'm letting my family down, I'm not doing what I need to with the business to be successful, and I know that I'm not.
Self-reflection.
Yeah, and so I know if I'm being a good leader or not to help the people that I enroll and giving them the tools. So it is a lot of self-reflection. But if it's the products, there's going to be a lot of people out there that don't see results after the first one. But also I have to kind of chuckle. I'm like, did they drink all the water? No. Did they take their pictures? No, most oftentimes. But Michelle, how many routes did it take for you to see results?
Yeah,
8?
it's like starting around 5 to 8.
A lot. And not everyone's going to see results with hair, skin, nails in the first 30 days. That's why we ask for them to be on a 90-day trial. Everything takes about 90 days to see amazing results with supplements, with diet, with exercise, you know? And so, do you guys want to add anything to that?
I think that if that is a big fear, you haven't put enough products on enough people. That's how I feel. is because it took me about 4 months to get my results, and I was almost double diamond by then. Like, I was wrapping people nonstop, and I couldn't even keep enough wraps in stock to wrap myself. So it took me a long time to get those results. But I was wrapping so many other people, and they were like having this amazing result in 1, 2, 3 wraps. And so you need to get the products on more people if that's what you're dealing with. Because it works, you guys. They would have had to change the name. I know that sounds so dumb, but it's true. Yeah.
So my question that goes along with that is, lately, I've had a lot of people that have come back to me that I've talked to about products and been like, I've tried it, I've tried so many things, they give like huge list of different things that they tried from another distributor. And then they're like, I just don't have any interest in it, I don't want to try it. What would be your suggestions to say to them to make it up?
I mean, I just take it by a case-by-case basis. Like, sometimes they have something actually preventing them from getting
I've
results.
tried that.
I mean, I don't just have a cookie cutter generalized statement. Like, I take it case by case, person by person. A lot of times I ask Allison, one of my double diamonds, because she's really smart. I'm like, this is what they're saying. What should I say back, or what should I recommend for them? Because you're not a doctor. You don't have to know everything, and just not everyone's gonna get results. I just text my cousin, and her husband was on the hair, skin, and nails for 90 days, and I'm not trying to deter the person who has this letting people down, but he tried it for 90 days. Nothing happened with his hair, and his nails are freaking amazing. I'm like, oh my head, she should have taken a picture of the nails. But the hair did nothing, and that's why they wanted it. And so yes, I feel bad. Yes, she's my cousin. I'm like, but I mean, how long am I gonna sit there and dwell on that? Like about 2 seconds.
What do you
And then
say?
I'm gonna move forward and go on, because I know it works. So
You just say, sorry, it didn't work for you, or?
Well, maybe it takes longer, or maybe.
I told her, I said, some people have to add in the greens with the HSN. But he said his nails were amazing, so it did work, just not on the thing he wanted it to. Dang it, I wanted to get my
Maybe his
foot in the
nails
door with the
needed
family
to-
sort of.
Well, that's what I was
It's more
gonna
than a
say that, because a lot of times it'll focus on the area that you
Right.
wanna get the most first before it'll move on.
Yeah, he must have crappy nails, didn't it?
Habit.
No?
That's what I was saying.
Has anyone else had a good experience with someone that maybe hasn't had results, or they had a fear over that statement? Does anyone have a story that they'd like to share of how it went well, how you overcome that fear?
I have some different, for
Yes.
me, the reason, I've been looking at it since Michelle started, since she started putting it out there. But I got wrapped and it didn't work, a few times, and I always had I got a rash, and I'm just like, and the more I was watching, oh, they got more products, and that's what started me, it's like, okay, I can probably, to me, it's just like, I can't sell something I can't use, but then it's like, well, like they say, results aren't typical, so that's something that, to me, it's like, okay, well, that'll help them, it doesn't have to be what it is.
Right. There's always something for everyone. Let's do one more. We'll have them. So that's kind of like the same one as that one.
Blitzing. I will do it when the other person brings it up, but I have a hard time going out and promoting the business. So the first thing that I would ask this person is,
Bye.
do you believe?
No.
Adios, Barbara. So, and too bad I don't know who this person is. But with blitzing, how strong do you feel about the body wrap? That's the first question I would ask them. That might sound crazy, but we had a nurse on our team, and she came down to one of my trainings in Springville, and she's like, I love the greens. I love the greens. but I can't blitz. And I said, what's your feelings about the body wrap? She was this tiny little thing like this on here. I was like, so have you seen results on yourself? How many people have you wrapped? Not enough to feel strong about our flagship product. You will not talk about this business unless you believe 100% in that body wrap. I don't care how many other supplements someone else might disagree with me. I don't know if you guys do. But if you do not believe in the product that is gonna make us $1 billion brand, you will not open up your mouth and talk to people about the business. That's honestly how I feel.
Like, I've literally seen no results with any wraps that I've done or on myself. And so that is really hard for me everyone asks me, I want to see your results, or how's it work for you? Well, it hasn't, but it's just, I sound so stupid. Like, why are you sharing this with me?
It is a hard obstacle to overcome, but I promise you, if you will wrap enough people, you will see it on them.
And for me, I got amazing results off of my first 4. And then a couple years later, as I continue to wrap, like, I don't notice a huge difference in my tummy. I notice a little difference on my tummy, but not massive. But when I wrap my thighs, oh my gosh, huge difference. And so maybe it's try a different area, or, or wrap more people to gain that testimony of it. But one way that I look at it is I want you to all look around this room and look at the different faces, ages, styles. I want you now, look at each other. Okay. Now imagine you are at Target or Walmart or at the park and you saw these different faces. Would you have approached them to ask them to join your team, or come to a wrap party, or have you heard of that crazy wrap thing? Probably not. Maybe some of you would have, but you're all distributors. You all joined. You all have a vision. You all want to succeed for some reason, or you've got a goal. So the way I look at it is, when I'm out and about, whose life am I supposed to change? Whose praying for a change in their life that I'm not opening my mouth and sharing it with them? And so the way that I do it is maybe a little bit different. I just carry a conversation with them. I find something in common, and then I will, if it comes up with a business, I'll offer my card and say, hey, can I add you on Facebook? Otherwise, if they've got cute hair, cute scarf, nice style, shoes, or whatever, I will ask, you know what, you're super cute. I love your personality. Can I add you on Facebook? And that's how I get them. That's how I blitz. I get them on my Facebook.
Yep.
That's my personal.
Well, and I do feel like you need to practice just talking to people that you don't know. My husband always says that if you can't bring up it works, learn to just practice starting conversations with people in public.
Well, like with that, one thing you can do too is, when you are talking to them, ask them what they do. Because if you ask them what they do, they're going to ask you what you do. And you need to own that this is what you do. So that's one, I feel like that's an easy way for people. Because I'm not a good blitzer. I will fully admit to you, I suck at it. And I try really hard, but it's still uncomfortable for me. I believe in our products 100%, but it's still hard for me to open my mouth. This is like something I'm growing into still. But that's something that I found, that if I ask them what they do, they're gonna ask me. But if I don't tell them this is what I do, then it's gonna be hard to be like, oh, and I also do, you need to own it. Well, that's a good way to kind of bring up the business in a roundabout way, for them to know what you do, but you're not like, hey, you want to,
Well, and the shyness. I mean, Nicole's more shy, and so it is harder to, it's not normal to just be starting conversations with people in public. So give yourself a break at the same time. Like, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just work on asking people questions. Like, work on asking 3 people a question when you're at the mall. Like, you gotta start somewhere, but if you never do it, that fear is what you're gonna feed. And the fear is what's gonna always be present. If you never do it, you'll always be fearful of it.
Janice?
I was just gonna say, I had to start by just saying, if I can just smile, smile and greet
There you
people
go.
as I'm walking through the store
Yeah.
and make eye contact with them.
Yeah.
That's where I have to start.
I love that, thank you.
Because
Thank you for
asking
saying that.
someone a question flips me right out.
We're all in
Smiling
different, we
is
all
so
have
puts
different
me out.
backgrounds and experiences
Smiling
and
puts you out.
personalities.
Well, not so much. I'm a server.
Yeah.
I'm expected to talk to people, but when you get me out of my little comfort zone, then heaven forbid.
We're all the same way.
Conversation today.
I like to smile at people to see who will smile back at me. Because if they won't, there's no way I'm talking to them. I'm like, nope, they're too down on themselves or down on life or whatever else.
I just think
They
it's
probably
really
think
nice.
it's nice to go together, just blitzing.
Yeah.
Because our kids we have kind of the same schedule, kids are in school, we don't have little people. Okay, I brought my little person with me, and she just said to me, you talk to everybody in this store. You know,
Oh, see, you were already like that
I
before,
really
weren't
do, and
you?
they'll be like, oh, you don't even know that person. You know, like, we were
So
looking through
great for you.
costumes,
Yeah.
you know, in the, at Walmart, totally half off. Like, I need costumes, nobody even wants Halloween candy now. And I'm in there, and there's some lady looking for stuff just for her little girl, just to put in a little trunk to dress up. And so I found one, and I'm like, okay, I don't even have a little person, I don't have grandkids yet. I'm like, look, this would be perfect for it. And she was just like, it was like I was shopping for her. I was so excited about this find.
Yeah.
And my kids like, we're not going in there because you know everybody in Smith and you'll just sit and talk to everybody and you'll never get out of there. And blah, blah, blah. And so, but see, that's what I have, but I have different fears. And so, like when Krista and I go together, that might be easier for me than it is for her, but there's other things that are easier for her than I'm like, so we'll just sit there, okay, this one's your turn, this one's your, like, we do this whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, you have,
And then I
like,
sit
you
there
got 'em.
and
Yeah, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it's your turn, I already took a turn, it's your turn,
Yeah.
my turn, it's right, but it makes it fun
Yeah.
too. You can't do it on your own, grab a friend and just make it fun. And set a goal, like we'll set a goal, okay, we're each giving out 5 cards, we're each giving out 10 cards.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you do it, you know.
Just
sometimes I-
start with conversations. If this is your fear, work on talking to people. Yeah.
Okay, so I was pretty new in the company and there was a vendor fair came up
Mhm.
and I decided, oh, I'll do it. Well, I was scared crapless.
Yeah.
And had swarms of people coming up to me asking me all sorts of stuff, you know, when I was new in the company. So I had done my research before, I had done the It Works training and stuff. But kind of got me out of my comfort zone to where I kind of like brought myself back to earth, and now it's so easy to blitz. So my moral of my story is to kind of get yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's where the magic happens. Right. I never blitzed before the vendor fair, and now I'm handing them out like candy. I'll hand them, if I go to like Starbucks, I'll hand them to the cashier on the way out. I'm like, see ya, Chloe, whatever, you know, but I never.
That's
would've
awesome.
done
What's
that.
your name?
Amber.
Amber. Awesome. I love that. That's so awesome. What do you want here?
I'll take I'll try one of them. Do I have to try that yet?
Good luck with that.
Thank
Let me know if you want
Okay, we should probably we'll plan for 15 minutes, but we were gonna talk about parties. I can do that really fast, and then social media. Okay, parties really fast. How many of you struggle to get parties? How many are really good at parties?
Marva left. She's good.
Okay. I just had a few ideas for parties, and you know, honestly, when I feel like I promoted fast when I was doing a lot of parties and going to a lot of parties. Would you guys agree? When you are wrapping people, when you're going and feeling that energy and talking to a lot of people, that's where things start to really happen quickly for you. So my personal goal in the beginning was to wrap at least 3 to 6 people a week, and I was working full time. So it was like, fine, I'll do one party on a Saturday, or maybe it's one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. That was just my average, and I tried to, you know, working full time. I've got 4 kids at home, and I didn't want to be away from the kids more than, I mean, I didn't want it to be, to defeat the purpose of trying to earn money from home, right? So that was my goal. And I feel like, yes, social media is an awesome way to gain new customers and find new distributors, things like that, but we need to go back to the basics, and they say blitz, wrap, and repeat. So how many people are we wrapping? Let's just be real here. In October, how many of you held one party at least? Raise your hand.
Our own? Not me.
2 parties. 3. Okay, so great
Delay.
job, great job. I would.
3 is from.
Yeah. We really, really need to try. I mean, I can improve on this as well. So I used to do weekly parties in my home. Sometimes people would never show up. I would still invite people. That's fine, guys. And then I'd be like shutting it down. My husband's like, sad. But what I would do is, sorry I didn't make it to my awesome party. Would you like to reschedule? Can I do one in your home? Would you like to invite a few friends? And you can use it as a tool to reach out and reschedule for a one-on-one or a separate party. But try to hold at least one party in your home. I'm thinking, okay, if I do it every other week, then I'm going to try to book another party outside of my home once or twice in a month, okay? So you can hold I went and searched on some of the VIP sites. Eat, drink, and glow. So that's like a facial party where they can exfoliate. Maybe you have treats and hot chocolate. Maybe you have apple cider. Maybe you have sparkling cider in little flutes.
So I was gonna just add on that, the eat, drink, and glow thing.
Mhm.
So you could do something like for $5, come and do the cleanser, toner, and a peel. You know, like don't put so much pressure on people to try a $25 wrap. I'd rather have someone in front of me where I can share my story and the opportunity. Don't put so much pressure on people, especially going into the holidays.
Right. So I have one here. Leave your purses at home and come just enjoy a sample party or a health and wellness demo. So you're still going over the party pad, same thing, you're just not wrapping anyone, still telling your stories, still going over the products. I have signed distributors at a demo where we didn't wrap anyone.
Yeah. Well, who knows? They might be want to put their $25 towards their $99.
A facial and holiday cookie swap. You know, who does those pie things? The pie day where they have lots of pies. You know, whatever. I know it's your family. But so health and wellness demo, sample parties, facial parties, ladies' night, and then all these others. I would say call up your loyal customers. Call them up, text them, message them, and say, I know how much you love the products. I want to let you try some of our new products that have come out. Exfoliating peel, maybe it's the energy, maybe it's the wow. Invite a couple of ladies over. Let's just have a fun night. What do you say?
Something we're gonna do in 2 weeks is we're doing like a VIP loyal customer night for all of our loyal customers that we've signed over the last 3 years. You know, we're inviting them to introduce, you know, those new products so they feel, you know, they feel special. They can try out the new stuff. We're gonna like let them try out the peels and the
That's a great idea.
stuff like that, just to like kind of like a customer appreciation night for them. But also to introduce them to new products, because some of them, you know, if they signed as loyal customers 3 years ago, we have a lot of new products that maybe they haven't tried. Like we've kept up with them and told them about them, but maybe they just haven't, you know.
How many of you were customers before you signed up as distributor? Anyone in here that was a customer? Kenna was.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, I was.
You were a
Oh,
customer?
yeah, she was too.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Lots.
Nice. Our customers love our products. They might want to be distributors. So that's really basic, but we wanted to move on to social media and help you guys with that.
Yeah, social media. Love it. Anyone else love social media? Oh, it can be tricky. It can at times be tricky, especially where now some people on Instagram are putting in their profile, no hair works. People don't even contact me, which is pretty sad to
That's my
think.
sister-in-law.
It's, you know what? But it's sad to think that distributors are just spamming people. You guys, like,
No.
be you. You're not spam. Okay? You're not this virus that's just gonna go in there and like, I hate that. I hate seeing that. That's so sad to think. But yeah, so social media, who knows about the see first that is added to social media, to Facebook?
Love it.
Oh, yes.
See first. Okay, this is awesome. I love it. Okay, so when you go to any of your friends, like I'll go into it right now and click on, let's say Delane right here, since I was searching for her. When you look on your phone, you go into following. See, the next thing over is following. So now it says see first, default, and unfollow.
Wait, where did you find that?
Just, it's
If you click on a friend.
where it says friends is the check mark. The next one is following, or you might have it say unfollow, just depending on who you've looked at. But it says see first on the side. So if you click on that, let's say you're super busy working full time and you have like 15 or maybe 15 to 20 minutes that you can work on Facebook. You can put 20 people in that see first category. And when you go to Facebook, you'll see them first. It's so awesome. You guys, you gotta use this. So what I've been doing is like a 2-week rotation. I'm like pouring in, I'm like encouraging them, cheerleading, building that relationship with them. Most of them I don't even know at all. And then I'm switching it to 2 weeks later, adding another 20. You gotta have lists of these people, but anytime that they like or comment on anything of your post or like a product or a lifestyle post, you need to send them a message. Thank you so much for liking my post. Are you interested in trying this product? Thank you so much for liking my post. Are you open to making extra money from home? Are you interested in what I do? So use that see first option. Does everyone understand what I mean by see first? Okay, you can have 20 people in there at once.
Does anybody know how to do it for Android?
Yeah, it's the same
Okay.
thing. It's the same thing.
It's not though, I'm not seeing her follow on there.
Well, she'll show you how to do it.
So 20 people in there, and then you can.
Where is it? Let me look it up.
And do 20 different people, just however you want.
You might just be able to click on friends too and see if it's there.
So I see what you're saying.
Because on my friends, it shows right here, the follow thing.
Yeah, and I just looked it up her. I just,
Just go on this and see.
it's not on there.
But when I hit unfollow on her, it automatically just unfollowed. Like it didn't go into a different
Okay,
category.
you might have to Google it.
I know, I've
How do
always
you
done
do
it
it on
from-
an Android,
I've
whatever?
always done it from this one.
You can do it on a computer too, but
Yeah, hold on.
I don't know, maybe it's only special for iPhones. Who knows?
I'm just.
Please don't.
Okay, another awesome thing while they're figuring that out is lists. You guys know that you can put all your potentials in a list. This isn't new, but this is something that not everyone knows and that not everyone's doing. So I have this huge potentials list of like 200 or more people. And when you post, you can specifically post to them.
Go see first on the computer.
If you've been doing this for a while, yeah,
Does it go directly on their page or just in their news?
in their newsfeed, like it makes sure that it goes in all those people's
So
newsfeeds,
if you did it
but
just
no
for
one
them,
else.
like I would see it.
Yep.
Only they would see it.
So
Yeah.
basically.
No,
don't
like
let
those
you
profits
from your
are
computer,
scrolling.
you click on it.
I mean, if you look at that,
You click on friends.
It's on phone.
Or
I
if
thought it
it's
was like
follow,
going
and
on
then
their
it says-
page, so that's why I haven't done it.
Let me
no.
go to someone who I have done for and see.
It'll say this
So
one
yeah,
right here.
specifically like lists. So when you're on friends, let's say you wanna, once you've already made your potentials list, so if you
Okay.
wanna do potential loyal customers, potential distributors, or you wanna make smaller sub lists or whatever, I just have all mine in potentials. You have to make that from a computer, but once you have made it, then you go in and click on friends, and that'll bring up edit friend lists.
Okay, so look, I went to someone.
Okay, so these are all the lists I have, and see, I have potentials, is the second to the last one. So I click that puts Delin in my potentials.
Thank you.
you have to make a list.
On the, I don't know. There might be a way to do it on the phone, but I made mine in the, I tried to make new lists in there.
You can do them on the phone, it's just a lot faster. So if you have access to your computer.
It's what I heard.
Anyway, okay, so that's one thing that you guys can do, especially if you have someone who maybe always seems to say something negative or that you just really do not want them to see it. You can also make a post and put, everyone can see this except this person or except these 3 people.
I do that.
Yeah, sometimes
It's
you
in
have
settings,
to
right,
do
for
it.
the list?
It's under,
It's over.
Friends.
Yeah, I think it's under friends.
It is.
I can show you when this is over. I'll show you.
Like, it's over like where you can put them as like your close friends, your acquaintances,
Yep.
or whatever, and then it'll say like add list.
Like make a new list.
Yeah.
Yep. So I got this from John Eric. Some of you guys might have already heard it, but when you're about to do the first post of the day, go and comment on 10 people's stuff first.
Okay.
Okay? Comment. They said like or comment. I'm saying comment. When I do a post, I don't want people to just like it. I want them to comment. How do you guys feel? Wouldn't you much rather have an awesome comment than just a like? Okay, so be that person that you want to attract. So go and comment on 10 people's things every morning before you do your first post of the day.
Can I add to it really fast?
Please.
One thing that I hear a lot of people say that really hits home for me is it's not about you and it's not about what you like. It's about the other people and it's about engaging with them. So you may not like everything that they post all the time. It doesn't matter because it's not always about you. It's not about what your life is. It's about them and what they enjoy. You might not like horses, but they really like horses. So say that's a pretty horse sometimes. It doesn't always have to be something you enjoy. But you notice when you're scrolling sometimes you see something and it's really easy to just keep scrolling. But they posted it for a reason. And like John Eric always says, people want hugs. People want to know that what's important to them is important to everybody else. So just take the 5 seconds and like and comment, because to them, that could be something that starts their day off on that positive note that we're wanting to have for ourselves as well.
And to me, that's part of following up. So the 4 things that I do every single day are posting, messaging people, following up, and personal development. If you do those 4 things, to see how much time you have in every day, divide it out and do those things equally, unless you need the personal development, do it 80% of the time, and then do those other things. But 4 things a day, you guys, that's it. That's all you need to be doing every single day. But yeah, thank you for saying that. And I feel like they say that most people don't get something like a great job or you're awesome past high school graduation. So think of yourself as a professional encourager. Like that really is your job. Like encourage people, help them to feel better about themselves. And if you're staying present on their newsfeed, they're gonna see your posts too. Yeah.
I heard something that if you post it from your computer, more people can see it than if you're doing it from your phone on Instagram and Facebook at the same time.
I wouldn't link them anymore. I was doing that for a while, but now I do them separate.
Because I get like no comments or likes on anything anymore. Like I was for a while, a lot, and then
They on a computer.
Yeah,
Don't like
you need to
Instagram.
just
Just don't share it over there. Even if you want to do the exact same
I just
post,
copy it.
post it on
post it.
Instagram first or whatever, and then do Facebook after as 2 separate posts. Because the linking thing is preventing people from seeing it on Facebook. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say.
So with Facebook, with social media, Instagram, the biggest thing is it's not about you. It's not about you seeing how many times you can advertise. You've got a 90-day trial program. Join my team. That's not what this is about. And it's about you trying to reach out and build relationships. And it might be that you've added quite a few people that you don't even know, but you do want to build a relationship with them. You want to find out what positive things you can find about them. What do you have in common? There's a lot of people that I've had join my team from not random adding, but I'm going to show you what I do. And you guys can take a picture of this. I have it on my team page. It's something that I've tried to help people with rounding out their social media. But so yeah, when we do kind of a work session at my house, we'll say, okay guys, everyone, we're gonna post one question. And I like posting questions on Facebook because we all have opinions. We want to share our opinions because ours are right, and we want people to use our opinions. And so it's fun. So ask a question. And I love makeup. I love any kind of makeup. So one time I asked, what's your favorite mascara? Oh, wow, it was flooded. It just went crazy. Another time was, what's your favorite running shoe? Oh my gosh. There's people coming out of the woodwork wanting to give their opinion. Guys, these are people watching your Facebook. They are never commenting on my It Works posts. I don't care. They're posting on my question. Guess what? They're going on my hundreds list. My hundreds list is now where I go and like and comment and engage and interact, not selling. So I ask a question. This one was a fun one. What's your favorite movie of all time? Wow, I got so many comments. So I try to do this. I try to round out my Facebook, but I try to ask a question at least once a day. And then those people go onto my hundreds list. How many friends do you have on Facebook? I started out with 247 friends on Facebook. I hated Facebook. I hated those. I'm doing the laundry. I hated those random updates. I had to learn how to use Facebook. And so now, being positive, did you do that all today?
It was with energy, but there was laundry behind it. So it was big.
Sorry. So how many friends do you have on Facebook? Well, I encourage you to increase your friend following by 10 to 20 people per day. How do you do that? Well, I go through mutual friends who are not distributors. I start with my family, my sisters. I'm the oldest of 8 kids, so there's a lot of family to go through. And I went through my sister recently while I was doing a training. So I went to my sister, went to her friends, and then I go through, not the mutual friends, I go through all of her friends and see who I'm not friends with that we have mutual friends in common. Do you follow? And I'm like, oh my gosh, 47 mutual friends. So I add a bunch of friends. When they accept my friend request, then they go on my hundreds list, not before. Groups. Be a part of groups that are your personality. Is it fitness? Is it hair? Is it homemaking? Is it outdoors? What is your personality? What makes you happy? Find a private group that has thousands of followers and engage and be a person in that page. Never selling It Works. Never. Don't ever bring up It Works. We're not there to spam. We're there to build relationships. So I have one that's a diet and exercise group, and I like and comment once a day. I engage in there, and I have some true friends in there. They uplift each other. They have motivation. And I'll say something like, that was a really great quote. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll engage and comment, and then I'll add them as a friend on Facebook. They add me back because they know who I am. And I don't do anything else other than my regular Facebook posting about my family, about recipes and whatever.
And that's a group on Facebook that you find?
Just go through search.
Colette, one other thing about groups that I heard recently, that someone said once, because sometimes you have to request to join somewhere public, whatever, is introduce yourself. When they add you, just make a little post like, hey, I'm so excited to be in this group. A little bit about you. How many people, if I saw that, I'd be curious. I want to know about her, and I'm going to go to her timeline. So introduce yourself if you get into a group.
That's a great idea. Okay, so those are great ways to increase your following. I try to engage with 100 people on Facebook per day. It used to be 10 to 20, But I heard for those that ambassadors, they're like, we engage with 100. So I challenge you. So here's my binder. I finally got organized after 3.5 years. Let's see if my audience can see this. So I have a letter that I wrote to myself a year ago that I was going ambassador, and I'm so proud of myself. So I read that. And then I have this. I have some. I know. I have some IMs that whenever I open my folder, I say it out loud. And then I have a bingo thing that I made. Okay. Here's my hundreds list.
It's a dance off.
Yeah.
Someone is letting their kids jump on the hotel beds.
Okay. So here's 100. Here's a 50. So I do 25 down, 25 on the other side. There's another. So 2 pages is 100. Okay. But these are all the people that have liked and commented on my Facebook. And there's a little love note from my daughter. Okay. So I'll sit down if I'm gonna rest and relax. And we're not watching like a movie or something. If we're just chilling with my husband, I'll say, okay, I'm gonna work on my hundreds list while we're watching a show. And I will go through, I will not leave anyone out, and I will engage with every one of them. And it takes about an hour. It took about an hour to engage with 100 people. That's actually not very long.
So you're just commenting
But
about
I can
anything,
comment.
not even.
Yep,
Have a great day.
engaging.
Private message, maybe.
You're not like personally messaging.
Pardon?
So you're not like personally messaging 100 people, are you?
Some of, like, it's intermixed of liking, commenting, or personal messaging about life. That's it. Like, comment, PM, birthdays, so I do 2 sheets a day, okay? Who do you want to become on Facebook? Like, who do you like to follow? Be the person that you want to become. I love fashion, but I'm not fashionable right now, but I want to be. So post about it. It's fine. Post about your dreams that are to come. Post about the places that you want to go with your kids. Post about things that you want to be, and have your audience know that those are your hopes and your dreams, and you have something to offer them. So then you need to set a large number each week that you're going to ask, specifically for ask to host a party, ask to try the 90-day trial, or say, I love how positive you are on Facebook. I love your energy. I love how many, you get so many comments on all of your posts. You're really popular. Someone like you would be great on my team. You'd be a rock star. Have you ever thought of earning extra money from home? Set a number that you want to follow up with and ask, and then commit to it and do it. Because you have to have that number. You can't just say, I'm going to just randomly feel what feels right. You just have to do
And
it.
I actually like that it's a week goal, not daily,
Yeah.
because you have too many at times. Oh man, I'm with you on the new house thing. Like, oh my heck, I'm just like, I want to do so much to my house, and I want to work too, and this is killing me.
Yeah.
So having the week goal means that you're doing your best every day, but your best is gonna change, but you have to do it within 7 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love that.
So I post a question. I post a graphic, something positive, uplifting. Maybe it's a funny quote. Maybe it's something spiritual or whatever, motivational. I post something that has to do with that month. So November, it might be Thanksgiving. It might be a craft. It might be a recipe. And then I post a selfie or family, and then post about it works. So I try to rotate through what I'm posting about, so it's not just it works nonstop, but then I'm engaging with people and connecting and adding people on Facebook. So eventually you're going to be reaching out beyond your little circle of friends and finding new people.
How many friends do you have on Facebook?
1,900. It's still not, some people have 4,000. 1,900, yeah. 1,900, and I still, like, I don't care about how many like or comment on my It Works post. I don't. That's not what it's about. That's advertising. It's like Target saying, here's our commercial. Well, I know they're there. It's just reminding me eventually I need to go. I'm here about building relationships. So for me, that's been most important, was just building the relationships, connecting with them, and then increasing my numbers. That's what about you?
Yeah, I think part of the whole, like, when you said you don't care about how many people like or comment on your works post, it can be hard to like post something and have nobody like it. We've all been there. But like you said, like you're building those relationships with them and they're still watching you. Just because they like it doesn't mean that they're not paying attention. It's that whole consistency thing, you know, they're gonna see you that each day you're still posting about it works. And when it's right for them, they will be open to the idea, or when you present it to them, they will be open to it. You know, so just because people aren't commenting or liking your It Works post doesn't mean they're not seeing it. It doesn't mean that they don't even like it. Like I've had people, like you were saying, I can't remember which one of you, but one of you said that, you know, they commented and said, hey, I'm ready to sign up on Friday, and they weren't even on the radar. Like it's, the whole consistency thing is key to social media. If you know, go like 2 weeks without posting anything, it works. They're gonna be like, oh, weird, like just like out of the blue, you know. It doesn't have to be like in your face, look at these wraps, you know, like it just needs to be that you're still involved in the company. Like I actually really like the whole gratitude adventure thing. If you guys haven't started the gratitude adventure that they're doing, do it. It's a way to like, I feel like it's a way to show people what we're all about with It Works. Like it's something we're doing as a company, but it's also something that people always do in November, you know, but it's
So for example, what do you post?
For the gratitude adventure?
Yeah, that has to do with It Works, or you just?
So you can tie it into It Works, or
Probably 10
you
by
can't.
now.
Like, so tonight I
Yeah,
actually
it's
took
my
a
time.
picture. What was that?
Sorry, I've probably done 10 by now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll just look at
It's
your.
only the third.
Yeah, so you just do different things. So like I've done personal things up till now, but today it was like a friendship that you were thankful for. So I took a picture of tonight and I talked about the friendships that I've made, and It Works. And that's what I was grateful for today. It wasn't It Works yesterday, but you know, it's a way to kind of tie it in. But the whole hashtagging the gratitude adventure is gonna pull up more things about It Works, and it's gonna be, you know, like I posted the little graphic and said like, I challenge all my friends to do this with me. And I've had friends do it that aren't part of It Works, but they're doing it with me. Doesn't mean they're gonna join, but maybe they will. Maybe it'll influence them, you know, thinking that this is what our company's about. So it is. I think it's all just showing people, you know, giving them like the love that they need and building those relationships and showing them what we're about. It doesn't have to be before and after pictures all day long.
Well, I think we forget too what hashtags can do for us. Like sometimes they seem like they're just really lame, and sometimes mine make no sense, but they make me giggle. I do it anyway. But you never know who's gonna be like, oh, gratitude adventure, what is this? And they click on it and they see the unity of the company and this whole company doing it, and you never know if that's gonna be the push that they're like, oh, she's really legit. This company
I want to be a
is
part of
great.
something.
Yeah. So hashtags are really like, I don't use them as often as I should, and they're really important for.
Just along with the like, if nobody's liking your Facebook, like It Works posts or things like that. I've gone to the grocery store, like go on about my day, seen somebody like, oh my gosh, it's been so long. Hi, how are you? Like, hey, how's your house going? I'm stalking you on Facebook. And I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of funny, but awesome, thanks, you know? So even if they
They're
don't do
watching.
anything, like,
They're watching.
yeah.
They're watching. Like I'll get like 100 likes on a picture of my baby, and then, you know, like I know they're seeing it. They like my baby more than they like my stuff.
Okay, that's why this is about them, and you got 100 likes on your baby, and those people are caring about something about her baby. Now we need to, do we care back on their stuff? Like Courtney was saying, it doesn't matter if we like it, we posted it for a reason, so care back to them.
One thing that I was just gonna say that kind of goes along with that, what you were saying with adding people on Facebook, one thing that I've done that actually took me Perez topic is as soon as they accept my friend request, then I'll go into their profile and I'll like and comment on something immediately, so then they know that I'm actually,
You're not a fan of mine.
and exactly. And so I'm not just spamming.
You're just not there to make
And that
friends.
helps, and usually if I comment on it, then they'll comment back to what I said or something, and that doesn't.
Did you have something, Trish?
I had a failure. I posted that I would get to my goal of 100 pounds in a year. And my year hit and I was 9 pounds away. And I went backwards. I did make my 100 pounds, so I quit posting, I quit doing everything, and now I have 115 pounds to lose because I gotta lose the 15 to get back where I was. And it's like, I'm too afraid to post because I was the failure. I didn't make my goal. And so now to get back and say, okay, you guys, I screwed up. It's like, how do you start over? I mean, it's like, okay, so I have a shirt that I wore to my dad's funeral, and it's always my dad's shirt when I wear it. And I wore it November 1st, and it was like, I just had this feeling my dad was always one that pushed me with my weight. And I wore it, and it was like, okay, you're done. No more sugar, no more, you're starting over November 1st. And it was like, Dad told me, but it's like, now to start over posting and things, I don't know where to start. I'm scared to death.
Nobody knows that. Nobody knows that but you.
But be vulnerable. Share your feelings and let them know, you know what? I'm human and I kind of fell a little bit backwards, but I need you to hold me accountable. I need to be posting to you because I know you guys are watching. Share what you're going through, because when you share your real feelings, that's what they do. You're connecting with people and they can relate with you.
Because I
No
have
one
people
wants
tell
to be
me
on
before,
people who are perfect
I'm
either.
watching you to see if you succeed in what your weight is
But
next
they're
year.
still proud
And
of
they're
you.
still, so it's like, so I'm afraid they're all gonna say,
No.
see, I told you so.
No.
You were going backwards. And
No.
it's like,
See, I told you so, you lost 90 pounds. Like, really? Yeah, you sure showed me.
It's like, most people see that.
Yeah, so Trish,
Share.
don't
You'll get
feed
more.
the fear.
I know, and that's
Feed
what
the faith.
everything I sit here and write these notes, and I'm just like,
Everyone-
it's like, you just, how do you start back over?
Don't do a video.
Realize that most people are just like you.
I love watching this.
She's over there, I told you so.
I mean, how many people honestly in this world reach their goals exactly the same day that they say they will?
I think you should get on and say how much you did lose, and everyone's just gonna love it.
Yeah.
But you know what? They know what I did lose, but they don't know what I gained. It's like, why
But
did
that's
you
okay.
Life gets in the way. I'm still getting on this journey. Share what you just said about your dad. Share what you just said about your dad. People are going to connect and relate with that more than you'll ever know.
Because you're human. Friday told me yesterday, she says, Mom, people will know you're gaining weight because you're not happy like you were this summer. And it was like, I was like, I'm still happy.
You're still happy.
And then it's like, she's like, you totally changed with the weight, and it's like, I suck into myself and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, it's so hard for me.
I can relate with you because I had someone comment and say, oh, but I wish that I was successful like you and you go on all these fancy trips. And I'm like, but you know what? She didn't know where I started. And I shared with her my story. I said, can I share with you my YouTube video where I started? Bankruptcy, $16, no food, praying for gas. My husband's out of work, losing our house. And she's like, you've got to be kidding me. She didn't want to share with me that that's exactly what she was going through. And as soon as I shared with her, she could feel that connection. Instead of judging herself and thinking that it was unattainable, she saw that I was just like her. You have to share. And once you expose your feelings to the world, they're going to love you anyway and be proud of you. If there's anyone that judges you, then
Okay, you better do that tomorrow. Because I'm going to be looking at your son.
We're all creeping on you.
You have such an amazing story. You have inspired so many people.
Yeah.
Confianza saved your relationship. Like, you have to do it. Don't sit here and play small. Everyone feels just like what you're saying right now. If you said that, I'd be like, oh my heck, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. The struggles with losing weight and trying to look like the face of this dang company. It's so hard. It's hard. Other people feel just like you.
but we're proud of you. So just share your success as well.
Yeah.
We're out of time. If anyone has anything else, we can stay and visit a little bit afterwards. We have to try to be out of here by 9 o'clock. we hope you've gained something from tonight. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening, everyone. Bye-bye.